everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for watching how I rock this MAC tinted moisturizer. Look at my video to see how I achieve this look. Thank you, bye. Okay guys, first thing we want to do, we want to make sure that our skin is thoroughly cleansed and moisturized. I've thoroughly cleansed and moisturized my skin. So what we want to do right now is begin with the primer. I have really oily skin. So the primer of my choice that I love for oily skin is by Becca. Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. Okay, and you want to dab that and place it all over the face. And kind of like using motions where you're wiping. And it takes the shine away. And it kind of gives you like a matte finish, which people with oily skin want a matte finish. After you've placed your primer, the next step I usually do are my eyes. So I'm gonna start with the eyebrows. Actually brush all of the hairs up in an upward motion. After I use my spoolie, I'm gonna use my MAC Clear Brow Set. And I have very thin and sparse eyebrows. So the next step is using my spiked MAC eyebrow pencil. And I begin underneath and draw a slight line, following the shape of the eyebrow. And then you want to draw a line above, following the shape of the eyebrow. And you want to do the same thing to the other brow. And you want to lightly fill that in. Okay guys, fill it in, but lightly, and don't use a heavy hand because it makes it look real harsh. I don't like harsh looking brows. And once you've finished filling in the brows, you want to go back over it with your spoolie. And you want to kind of brush it towards the nose. And do the same thing to the opposite brow. And I still find that it's still a little light, so I go back in and I fill a little more. I don't want harsh looking brows, but you want them to have some dimension. And then I want to go back in with my Smashbox pencil. It gives it more definition. Just on the ends, kind of lightly fill that in to give the brow more dimension. But use a very light hand and use it sparingly. And I'm gonna go back in with the spoolie. And brushing the brow, the hairs towards the nose. Next step is to create more depth and dimension and make a cleaner brow. So I do this with using my concealer, the Select Cover Up Sheer Concealer by MAC. And this one is NW45. And I like mixing it with NC30. Kind of give it a highlighted look. And I just put a drop of that and I mix it. And that gives the eyebrow a lifted and cleaner look. And it looks messy now, but I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna blend it. Okay, and I'm gonna take my MAC 224 brush and I'm gonna blend it. Wiper motions until everything is blended and you see no harsh lines. Do the same thing with the opposite brow. Blend it, blend it, blend it. You don't want any type of lines, you just want to keep blending. You can see I love what I'm doing. All right, next step, we want to do the actual eyes itself. And I usually start by priming my eyes, and today's primer I'm going to use is Constructivist Pink Pot by MAC. Spread that on the eyes. And we're just using this as a eyeshadow primer. Or you can use it just as a shadow, but it serves as a base before you are actually applying your eyeshadow. I'm going to spread it on like you're spreading butter. Now, I'm going to go for a gold shadow look. So the choice of gold I am going to use is from my Lorac Pro Palette, and the color I am going to use is gold. And I'm going to show you guys when you use a gold how to kind of make the color a little muted. This gold is obviously real shiny. So I'm gonna go in with my sable brown and I'm just gonna dull that color down a bit so it's not so intense. It's gold, but it's kind of a muted gold. Anytime you use colors and they're a little too bright, you always go in with the darker color. Now I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna add a little bit more intensity. So I am going to use garnet. That's added a little bit more shimmer to it. So you can see the color, but it's not so bold and not too gold, not real loud. I don't really like loud. Okay, that's a whole lot better. And I'm gonna shade it in the corners with a deeper brown. Let's go with the crease first. So we're gonna go into the crease and place a nice, beautiful brown. We're gonna use windshield wiper motions. Get into the crease of the eye, following the shape. Blending very well as you go. And we're going to do the same thing with the other eye. Starting in the corner and using the light hand with the brush, you're going to use windshield wiper motion and do the same thing with this eye. And I'm going to go ahead and use a gentle like black, but real soft hand. Do the same thing with this eye. Blending it. Just adding more dimension to the corners. So you want to blend it. Use the eye pencil and dab a little bit more. Just in the corners. Now, next thing we want to do, we want to make sure everything is blended. So I'm going to go back into the crease and make sure that's totally blended. And you want to take your mirror and look into it and make sure that it's totally blended. Once that's blended, the next thing you want to do is apply your eyeliner. And I'm going to use a cream eyeliner today by e.l.f. and it's in the color black. And when you're using a cream liner and you're using a flat brush like this, you want to start in the middle of the eyes and get as close to the line as you can. And you can use an angle brush, but I find it's easier for me just to use this flat brush. I absolutely love it. Okay, want to do the same thing to the other eye. Start in the middle, and you're going to gently do stroking motions. Okay, this is the top portion of the eye. You want to do the same thing to the bottom portion. Gently line in the lower part of the eye, in the waterline. So we've lined the bottom portion of the eyes. The next thing we want to do is start with the concealer. And you're going to actually apply it in a V motion. And you're going to blend it and not use too much product at first. Okay, that's covered. Now we're going to do the next side. You're going to start below and work your way on up. Blending in the V motion on the sides of the nose. And I'm also going to do it over my mouth area, so we can hide any or conceal any discolorations. And let's do the same thing here. A little darker on the sides. Now, since we've done color correcting with the darker concealer, we want to add a little bit more brightness. So I'm going to use NW35. I'm going to do the same thing. We're just adding a little bit of lightness to it. Also, I'm going to take another color from my kit, NW25, and I'm going to mix it with the 35 to add a little bit more brightness. So we're going to mix those two colors, and we're going to add more brightness to the under eye area. Same thing on the opposite side. Starting below and blending our way on up. Okay, we've completed that. The next thing we are going to do is begin by putting our foundation. Today I'm going to use my Tinted Moisturizer by MAC in Deep Dark in lieu of using a traditional foundation. I love it. It's brand new. I wore it earlier today and I absolutely love it. And it gives you the look of a full coverage foundation without the heaviness. So I'm going to use my Sephora Pro Airbrush Stippling Brush. And I'm going to dab it on just like this. Dab it and then I'm going to blend it. Using the stippling brush all the way down. And then you want to do the forehead area. I'm going to stipple that down and then do the nose. I'm going to use our stippling brush. There. Right there. Okay, since this has been stippled, now we're going to blend it, kind of buffing it in to the skin. Now, since that's well blended and applied, I'm going to go ahead and use my Select Sheer Press Powder to set the concealer. We're just going to gently press onto the skin. Okay, same thing here. Gently pressing into the skin. That's been done. Now I want to go ahead and add some powder all over the skin. And the powder I'm going to add today is my MAC Skin Mineralized Finishing Powder. And the color I'm going to use is dark. I'm going to make sure everything looks uniform. Okay, that's been done. Now I want to make sure everything is blended into one. We can see a highlighted area, but we don't want to see any lines, so kind of just taking my brush and kind of blending everything just like this. Now the next thing I want to do is do my blush. And I'm leaving my mascara for last. And I like doing that. I don't like particles of powder all over my mascara. So I'm going to use Raisin by MAC. So that's the color blush that I choose to use today. Next thing you want to do is do some contour. I'm going to use my Blunt Blush by MAC. Okay, now to make sure you don't have any harsh lines, you want to blend that together. And I'm using my Sephora Pro blending brush. Okay, we're going to contour the nose, and we're going to use Blunt's Max Blunt to do that. You're going to just draw even line, and I do this with cream. Sometimes I'm just using powders today, but you can use it. You can even use a pencil on this, a dark pencil. You're gonna blend that down, making sure you don't see any harsh lines. And I'm gonna take a little bit of a lighter concealer, and I'm gonna go straight down the nose with that. Okay, and then once again, you want to blend, and you want to make sure there aren't any harsh lines. You want to blend that. We are going to do our mascara right now. And the mascara I'm using is by Too Faced. Last but definitely not least, we're going to do the lipstick. Since we're wearing a muted gold liner, I think I am going to use a gold color lipstick. And this concludes my look of a muted gold eye. Thanks for watching.